Welcome to The Severed Veil. Stories brought to you from beyond the ever-thinning veil between our world and somewhere much less inviting. So remember, it's only a story until it isn't.
In the remote mountains of Chile, where the air is thin and the stars burn brighter than anywhere else on Earth, the ALMA Observatory stands as a beacon of human curiosity. For decades, its massive radio telescopes have scanned the heavens, searching for answers to the universe's greatest mysteries. But one night, they found something they weren't supposed to. It began as a faint signal, barely distinguishable from the background noise. At first, the scientists thought it was a glitch, a quirk of the equipment or interference from a passing satellite. But as they analyzed the data, they realized it was real. The signal was coming from deep space, and it wasn't random. It was a message. Dr. Lucas Hayes, the lead astronomer, was the first to decode it. The message was simple yet chilling. We are coming. The team debated what to do. Some wanted to respond, eager to make contact with an alien civilization. Others argued it was too dangerous, that they had no idea what they were dealing with. But before they could decide, strange things began to happen. Equipment malfunctioned, lights flickered, and the air grew heavy, as if the observatory itself was alive. Then the dream started. Lucas would wake up in a cold sweat, his mind filled with visions of vast, incomprehensible shapes moving through the void. His colleagues reported similar experiences, each more vivid than the last. Sarah, the astrophysicist, claimed the stars were speaking to her. Mark, the engineer, disappeared, leaving behind only a note that read, "They're here." Lucas tried to hold it together, but the signal grew stronger. It wasn't just a message anymore, it was a presence. Something ancient and unknowable. The final straw came when he looked through the telescope. The stars. They were wrong. They had shifted, forming patterns that made no sense, as if the universe itself was rearranging. In a panic, Lucas destroyed the equipment and fled the observatory. But as he drove down the mountain, he noticed something in the rearview mirror. The stars were still wrong, and they were getting closer. Now, Lucas spends his nights staring at the sky, waiting. He knows they're coming, and when they arrive, there will be no escape.
Deep in the heart of the Sahara, where the sun burns like a furnace and the sand stretches endlessly in every direction, a team of archaeologists made a discovery that would change their lives forever. Dr. Evelyn Carter, a renowned expert in ancient civilizations, led the expedition. For months, they had been searching for a temple, mentioned only in fragmented texts and whispered legends. And now, they had found it. The temple was unlike anything they had ever seen. Its entrance was carved into the side of a massive dune, its stone walls weathered by centuries of wind and sand. As they brushed away the debris, the team uncovered intricate carvings that seemed to shift under the light. The symbols etched into the stone were unlike any language they had encountered, angular and alien, with a faint, almost imperceptible glow. At first, the team was ecstatic. They documented everything, from the strange murals depicting humanoid figures with too many eyes to the massive stone altar at the center of the temple. But then, things began to go wrong. Mark, Evelyn's assistant, was the first to feel it. He complained of headaches, then nightmares. He claimed the carvings were whispering to him, though no one else could hear it. One morning, they found him in the central chamber, dead. His face was frozen in a look of pure terror, but there were no marks on his body. Sarah, the team's linguist, became obsessed with translating the symbols. She spent hours hunched over her notes, muttering in a language no one recognized. James, the archaeologist, started sleepwalking, always ending up at the altar. And Evelyn began to see things. Shadows moving where there were none, figures watching her from the corners of her vision. She tried to dismiss it as exhaustion, but the feeling of being watched never went away. As the days passed, the team began to unravel. Sarah's translations grew more frantic, her notes filled with ramblings about an ancient god imprisoned beneath the temple. James became increasingly erratic, claiming the altar was calling to him. And Evelyn began to hear the whispers too. They were faint at first, like the rustle of leaves in the wind, but they grew louder, more insistent. They weren't in any language she could recognize, yet somehow she understood. They were warning her. It wasn't until the final night that they understood the truth. The temple wasn't a place of worship, it was a prison. The carvings weren't art, they were wards, designed to keep something trapped. And the thing they had awakened, it was hungry. Evelyn was the only one who made it out. She doesn't talk about what she saw in that chamber or how she escaped. But sometimes late at night, she hears the whispers, and she knows deep down that it's only a matter of time before the temple calls her back.
The Mariana Trench is the deepest, darkest place on Earth. It's also where Dr. Emily Carter and her team made a discovery that would haunt them forever. Using a state-of-the-art submersible, they descended into the abyss, searching for new forms of life. What they found was something else entirely. At first, it seemed like a geological anomaly, a massive structure buried in the ocean floor. But as they got closer, they realized it wasn't natural. The structure was covered in strange, pulsating lights, and its surface was etched with symbols that seemed to writhe and shift. Emily's team was ecstatic. They had found proof of an ancient, advanced civilization. But then, the dreams started. Emily would wake up gasping, her mind filled with visions of vast, alien landscapes and a being so enormous it defied comprehension. Her colleagues reported similar experiences, each more vivid than the last. And then, the equipment began to fail. The submersible's cameras captured strange shapes moving in the darkness, and the sonar picked up echoes of something massive and alive. One by one, the team began to lose their minds. Sarah, the biologist, claimed the structure was speaking to her. Mark, the engineer, tried to sabotage the submersible, screaming that they had to leave before it woke up. Emily tried to keep it together, but the dreams grew worse. She saw the being, the dreamer, and she knew it was watching them. On their final dive, they found the truth. The structure wasn't a ruin, it was a prison. And the dreamer, it was waking up. In a panic, Emily ordered the team to surface, but it was too late. The submersible was caught in a current, pulling them deeper. As the lights flickered and the pressure grew, Emily saw it. The dreamer, rising from the abyss, its eyes burning with ancient, malevolent intelligence. Emily was the only one who made it back. She doesn't talk about what happened down there or how she escaped, but sometimes late at night, she hears the whispers, and she knows, deep down, that the dreamer is still watching, waiting, and one day it will rise again.